The race and rescue line has been nothing short of controversial within the Cars community, and understandably so, because it seems to be taking up the large majority of the new releases for the year, leaving very few to the actual movies and the show Cars on the Road, in which we did get Jonathan Gearson. We got Masha Ellswrench for Cars 1, who actually doesn't technically appear in Cars 1, but it's fine. The rest of everything, those Cars Race and Rescue Radiator Springs Rally Race, and while some of it's pretty cool, there are some other downsides that we have experienced, as we'll see in this case, with deluxes being rescaled, downscaled I should say, in order to fit in the singles packaging. We already saw this with Red in Case W, and guys, spoiler alert, we're going to be seeing it here again with Morgan Martins. The question is, how badly is it scaled down? Are you actually happy that they're doing this so that we can get some of those deluxe characters back? Maybe we can get, I don't know, Wraithrod, or we can get Clutch Homebolt in the future. They'll just be a little smaller. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I am very excited, though, about this case because probably some of the best race and rescue stuff is in this case. Got from GetMeCollecitlbes. I'll leave his contact info in the description below and card suggestion pop-up. Actually, not in the card suggestion pop-up because that is impossible. But if you want to email him, that's in the description as well. If you want to ask about a case, if you want to just go to a store, buy these individually, whatever floats your boat, the options are there for you. But let's dive in right here. Again, like I said, I am pretty pumped about this case. You get Rally Race Jeff Gorvette. You get Race and Rescue Morgan Martins, who I'm just more so curious about than anything to see how truly rescaled he is. How much smaller is he than the 2017 Super Chase over here? There's also some other sweet treats, like there's Race and Rescue Sally, who I already can see. There's two of her. I was not expecting that. Sorry, guys. Don't need a spoil. All right, we're going to start, I guess, like this. Oh, and then there's another little surprise that we'll get to. But as we always do, we save the best for last. So we're going to start with this top row here with Strip Weathers, aka the King. Two of them in this case. And as I always say, this guy never peg warms. I rarely see this guy. Like, honestly, I rarely see him just ever. He is one of the first to go. So I have no issue with them doubling up on the King every once in a while. You know, could get to be a little much. Everything within moderation. But yeah, he's looking good. The Thailand variant has always been one of the better Thailand variants, I would contend. On the back, you just have some other Cars 1 nostalgic early 2025 releases. Dave Alternators, Billy Oil Changer for the Piston Cup Racers. Then you have Sheriff, Fillmore, Sally, and Lightning McQueen. I don't know why I'm just kind of noticing this now, but there seems to be a heavy glow behind the Mattel logo there. Is that new? I'm probably just tweaking and it's been there this entire time. It just is really standing out to me more than it has in the past. Like, it seems like they toned up the glow shadow, basically. Just, you know, Microsoft Word, turn the opacity on, the glow up. But yeah, two Kings, I'm okay with it. Oh no, here we have a mangled Floyd Mulvihill. But doesn't matter to me, I don't need him. He'll probably just get donated. Couldn't even find somebody to sell this to if I wanted to, because he is one of the biggest peg warmers of the year. There are stores I go to where they have full pegs just of Floyd Mulvihill, full pegs of Ernie Gearson, full pegs of a bunch of piston car racers, in fact. Claude Scruggs has been not bad. Like, he's been okay despite being released about the same as Floyd Mulvihill, like maybe a little less. But yeah, I have no issue. This one's going to go bye-bye. This one will not last in my collection all that long. Won't even be admitted to my collection. Sorry, Floyd. Here we have Road Trip Lightning McQueen. This one's on a mint card, so it's crazy how that happens. You know, you have one right next to it that got mangled somehow, and this one's perfect. Another peg warmer. Yeah, this one in Rust-eze McQueen. Although I don't even think this one has been as bad as Rust-eze McQueen. Also, am I tweaking, guys? Am I just like having a weird day? Like, why is the bolt on McQueen here look like it fades into the red so much faster? Like, it just goes away way faster than it I would think, I don't know. I'm probably just, I can't really see what it looks like on the other side. It just looks like it fades off into the red way sooner, shorter than it actually should. Let's see if I have a comparison. You know, I probably don't, because I usually just expunge of all my boring cars like this. But anyways, on the back here, you can see some other cool cars on the road releases that they should have kept on including in cases, but they didn't. Like Logan Gearsaw, Barney Cones, Margaret Motorway, even Road Trip Lightning McQueen, not McQueen, Mater would have been cool to keep on including, but no. Now Speed Cone, fine. Cave Lightning McQueen has become a little bit of a peg warmer, a little bit of a problem in my area, sadly, because I really like him. I think he's a phenomenal variant. Next up, we have Cho making her first return since she debuted in Case U, along with High Impact, Masha Ellswrench, Cam Spinner, GRC Max Schnell, President Mater. That was a good case. May end up being looked at as the best case of the year when it's all said and done. But yeah, Cho's looking good here. Tokyo Mater, obviously, this was her first release from Thailand. I reviewed her back in, I think it was May. So if you want to check that out, I'll try and toss the link in the description below. Not a bad variant at all. Her and Kyandi both getting their first releases from Thailand this year. Supposed to also get Bye Bye Car, and yet she was canceled. And I don't understand why in the back here. I think it's a mistake. It really should show Komodo and Kyandi, not Cho. Because usually they try and show you the other ones, and it's redundant to show you the one you're already holding. And so I think this is meant to be Kyandi. Plus Kyandi came out before Cho. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of an error there, but it's mass produced. Chuck Armstrong is back, one of the mid-tier piston cut racers this year in terms of peg warmth. Yeah, he hasn't been quite as bad, but still hasn't been hard to find by any stretch of the imagination. And again, it's all regional, but this is, what I'm telling you guys, is a pretty accurate representation of the United States as a whole. At Target especially, and then a little bit at Walmart. Walmart just gets weird. They only get the half cases in. They skip some cases. At least this year they have. Some cases they load up way more on than others. Like, I feel like they loaded up. Like, I have not even really found any case U. I think I found remnants of case U once. I've seen some V. I saw quite a bit of T, actually. I found decent amount of S, a little bit of R. Found like no Q. It's weird. Like, Walmart's just been tough this year, but it's fine. Target's been just killing it in terms of getting in the cases on a timely basis. Gotta call it out every time. Slim Hood, you are not a Cars 1 release, and it's going to bother me for the rest of my existence. All right, up top here, we have the staple ever since Case V. That is to include 2 of Race and Rescue Lightning McQueens, which is fine. I understand he is the new face of the new expanded universe line they got going on, just like what they did with GRCs last year. Load them up on Lightning McQueens. And it kind of worked. Like, the GRC McQueens never really pegged warm. In fact, yeah, I was kind of wrong about that, even though distribution of all the cases he was in was horrible. So it's not like they even gave him a fair shot to peg warm. But yeah, even the Race and Rescue ones that have been in a bunch of cases so far haven't been so bad. On the back, you have Chick Hicks, Mater, and Sarge, all of which have been pretty easy to find. Chick Hicks is also in the 2-pack, as you know. Mater's in several cases. He's going to be back in Case Z. Sarge is in a couple cases. He hasn't been that hard for me to find out of Case W. Like, usually if I find remnants of Case W, he is still there. Red is almost always gone. Jackson usually gone. Ryan Shields usually there, though. Ryan Shields has not been hard to find. And then, yep, here you have your other Race and Rescue Lightning McQueen. I'm just waiting to get an air, hopefully, one day. It's been a while since I pulled an air out of a case. It happens, guys. Every once in a while, you'll pull an air out of a case, and it'll feel amazing. One of the best feelings you could ask for as a cars collector. All right, here we have Claude Scruggs. Looking a little strange. I don't know why. Again, maybe my brain is miscalibrated today. I don't know. He just looks like higher in the back. I always come up with the weirdest We're just like, what the hell, Mr. Docketer, are you thinking? He looks the exact same. I don't know. He just looks a little different to me. The placement of him. But yeah, I like this guy. Leakless, classic, nostalgic, Cars 1 Desert Series. You know what I'm talking about. 2006. Beautiful. And he's been selling better than most Piston Cup racers this year. Especially Floyd and Ernie, who are the same model as him, so they're very tangibly comparable. Winford hasn't even been that bad. Billy's been pretty bad, though. All right, here we have Dave Alternators, so another Piston Cup racer. This one was tough just because he's been released now a couple times over the last few years. He got the accessory pack release with Winford. He got a single release just a couple years ago. Not even close to his first time from Thailand. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't fully understand their infatuation over the last couple years with Piston Cup racers. Like, I know they're popular. And that is because of us, the fans, who have idolized Piston Cup racers from the first movie. We have begged Mattel to release them, and they've done that. And now they've released all the ones they really possibly can from Thailand. Maybe we'll get Dale down the road. Maybe we'll get Mac Icar, Apple Racer, down the road. But they've done what we've asked of them. They just went a little too hard. They swung a little bit too much in that one direction. But yeah, Dave looks fine. He is a fine racer. Some of these guys, I feel like our opinions of them are hindered because they peg warm so much, and we get so frustrated with seeing them. It's like every time we go to the store and we want to see something else and we end up seeing them, it's just like, oh, darn it. Screw you, Dave. And it's like, well, come on. It's unfair to Dave. Dave is still a cool racer. Claude, Floyd, they're all still great. There's a lot of them right now. Here we have Cryptid Buster Lightning McQueen. This is a variant that, yeah, they have included in quite a few cases this year, and I think it's another really good version of McQueen. He's got all of his doodads, the roof rack, light bar, luggage, antenna. Like, it's a really nice version of McQueen that I feel like is a little forlorn, a little overrated, or underrated, rather. Yeah, I see quite a bit of him. Like, usually if I see remnants, he's still around. Lightning McQueen with shovel has been lingering around as well. It's unfortunate, but he hasn't reached levels of Cave Lightning McQueen yet, which would be pretty bad. All right, I guess we're going to launch right into what will probably be my favorite of the case, maybe yours too, and that is Rally Race Jeff Gorvette. Wow, what a wild choice to include in the Rally Race line. It almost seems like they knew, like, all right, he's not going to be in the GRC line, so we have to do him in the Rally Race line. Like, because Jeff's awesome, the fans love Jeff, we have to toss him a bone. And so, Jeff, you will be the one World Grand Prix racer that we include in the Rally Race line. Because, you know, we got Cal Weathers from the stock cars, we got Cruz, Jackson, Danny, Chick Hicks from Cars 1. You know, we have stuff from every other little facet of racing. Jeff, though, you'll be the representative of the World Grand Prix. And yeah, I'm happy about it. We're going to review him very, very soon. In fact, I think it'll be my first review out of the 3 new cars in this case. I'm very excited to see if I like him or not. I like the 24, the circular logo they included there. Even though the font, I don't know, it looks a little tall. It looks taller than it should be. But again, I'm probably just tweaking, trying to find something to complain about. New for 2025, obviously, there hasn't been much else new for 2025, so we know. It says Radiator Springs Race and Rescue, but he's going to have the Rally Race logo, so not quite that. On the back, really nicely done by Mattel to update the card back here and actually include new releases and use the entirety of the space that they allot themselves and not just 6/7 of it. I don't know why they started leaving that space blank. Never used to. But yeah, you have Jackson and Red, who were from Case W. Couple nice ones there. I like Red a lot. Jackson's okay. Luigi and Guido from Case X that we reviewed just a couple weeks ago. And then, yes, we'll be seeing Sally and Morgan Martins here in just a moment. But yeah, I'm really glad that they updated this to show what else is out at the time and not just continue spamming us with Chick, Sarge, Mater. Chick, Sarge, Mater, McQueen, you know, the older ones, which, while they're still being released, it's cool to show the new one. So yeah, very excited about this. It does feel though, like it really does feel Mattel was acknowledging, all right, we screwed up. We didn't give him a GRC release, so we're going to do this one. Go out of our way to do it. Got a cardboard flap here. I don't know. This one's all bent up, guys. This is no bueno. This is like supposed to be a treasure hunt cardboard flap, but it's kind of creased and bent. It's unfortunate. You guys know I love my cardboard flaps. Oh, look who's back. Pit Crew Sarge, or Pit Crew parentheses member Sarge is what his full name should be. This was a new Thailand variant when he was released back in case R. I think he did come back for another case, so I believe this is his third case of the year. And honestly, I have not seen all that much of him at all, so this is fine by me. I will be doing his Thailand variant review soon. I have it all done. I just did not want to upload it too close to reviewing the Race and Rescue version, which I know is almost 2 months ago now, but I still want to put some distance in between those videos since they are so similar. You know, one... Yeah, I mean, they both have a doodad up front. They are both Sarge. But yeah, this one does feel a little nostalgic, a little Final Lap collection-esque. On the back here, you have Floyd Mulvihill, Chuck Armstrong in the wrong model that they've always used. Lightning McQueen with sign, Jonathan Wrenchworth, Donna Pitts, and Hydraulic Ramon, who has never come back since his release in case N. No, it was it N? No, I think it was P. Yeah, he was in P. All these guys were in P, in fact. Some of them, I think. Who was in the first case? Was Floyd all? No, I think Floyd all. I think all of them debuted in case P. Whatever. Ramon definitely did, though. And he never came back. Flo with Trey did, who was kind of like his casemate. But Ramon was like, nah, I'm good. Here we have Rust-eze Lightning McQueen, a typical release for this year. Probably been in almost every single case so far. Not much to state. Rust-eze, Cruz, and Jackson are chilling on the back. I would have no qualms if they didn't release this version for like 5 years and did other versions of McQueen. Like just regular Cars Story Lightning McQueen. Rust-eze Racing Center Lightning McQueen. Dare I say Dynaco Lightning McQueen. Maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. All right, speaking of getting ahead of myself, we're going to save some of the better cars for last. So we're going to jump here to a pair of Cam spinners. So this is the second time this year that they have doubled up on Cam. Because when he debuted in Case U, there were 2 of him in that case as well. And I did say he would start to peg warm a little bit. He really didn't. So that's a good thing. Maybe it's just because Case U wasn't distributed all that heavily. I really didn't see all that much of it. I'm not even sure if he's in the Walmart case. Because Walmart barely got in any case used. But point being, there's another pair of him in this case. So now it might get a little troublesome for Cam in terms of selling. But I do love how his artwork looks. It's nice that they're doing a more iconic next gen here just by himself and not in a 2-pack like they usually do with next gens these days. He's playable in the Cars 3 Driven to Win video game. So he's got a little bit more recognition, brand strength than some other next gens. On the back, you have Rust-eze McQueen, Jackson Cruz, and High Impact. Very nice. Going to be one of the rare releases of the year. Debuted in the same case as Cam. Case U. Just was checking if High Impact is back in this case, because this case does see the return of a couple Case U characters like Cho, Masha, and Cam Spinner here. But yeah, all right, moving right along. I'm totally fine with Cam. I think 2 might be a little crazy, though. I think that might be a little overkill. But Mattel knows what they're doing, right? They totally know what they're doing. All right. What do we want? Let's do whatever this is down here. Cars 1, Lightning McQueen. All right, fair enough. Can really never go wrong with him, though. He looks great. He's kind of sliding around in there a little bit more than usual. Beautiful. Lightning McQueen. The original. Oh, Slim Hood, get off of these card backs. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't see you right there. What do you know? Slim Hood is back for his third case of the year. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I'm fine with it. This guy sold very well. I've only found like one or two in stores, and I really had to claw and bite in order to find them. First one I found was at Meyer, about half an hour south of me, so I went out of my way to find that one. Second one I found was from Case T at a Target, in which the Target was trickling cars out from the case because the pegs were so slammed. So I had to go every day, and they put out like McQueen with Shovel and Graham, then they put out Floyd Trey, then the next day they put out finally Slim Hood and Joe Don Jackson, who probably would have been a better re-inclusion than Slim, because Joe now is only in one case of the year and Slim's in three, and they're both Thomasville racers. I would have definitely preferred to see Joe Don Jackson back, but Slim Hood is fine. Pretty cool character. I like his expression, and I don't know why the expression feels different to me. I'm just tweaking. He's not a Cars 1 release. Oh my god, I know he doesn't like really technically appear in Cars 3 either. Like, I get that, but like, we all know that's what they were intending. Alright, Sally, I see you making a mess. We'll jump over to you. Race and Rescue Sally. Please, dear Lord, provide me this Race and Rescue book so I can make this release make sense in my head. Oh my god. First order of business. When they create these artworks here, they are taking your original Sally artwork, the original render, and photoshopping on the decals and accessories. So, okay, cool. Good job. Added the roof rack pretty seamlessly. Added the cones. They look great. Put some white stripes on them. Why not? No white stripes on the actual release here. Okay, so if we're just making this out of thin air, that's literally what they're doing. They are speaking this into existence. They are putting the decals on this artwork. They are not being given this artwork from anybody. Mattel is rendering this themselves. They are doing some good graphic design work to change Sally's wheel in the back, which they did a good job of. So, okay, if you have control of what this looks like, don't put the stripes on the cones if you're not going to put them on the diecast. It's as simple as that. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by showing you how good it could look if you don't plan on executing in that way. So that's my first problem with Sally. My second problem is, like, why? Why does Sally make any sense in the Rally, Race, and Rescue, whatever you want to call it, series? She's carrying around 3 cones. Like, okay. Maybe when this book comes out, it's going to make sense to me. But right now, she really does sit as probably my least favorite in the series. Just doesn't do it for me at all. I like that they're using the new model for Sally, though, and not the like traditional pancake version. This is the one from like the 5-pack you see at Walmart, but it's not the same one that you see in a typical single release. I just don't think the design looks good. The dark blue looks strange to me. I think they should have gone with red. I think red would have looked probably cool. Just do a completely different color instead of trying to make it a shade of blue. The cones kind of like harken back to Sally with cone, like the Cars 1 release when she bumps into the cones. That's cool. It's kind of like an Easter egg. It's kind of like a Sally with cone on steroids. But nah, this just doesn't work for me, unfortunately. See, all these other releases make sense. They were like, all right, we're doing the Race and Rescue line. Let's pull some of our more traditional like rescue vehicles, like an ambulance, a fire truck, Adam Rodriguez. They kind of screwed the pooch with Kathy Copter, who's just a media helicopter, but I understand where they were going with it. Pretty sure they also were going to do like Axle Accelerator, but let's just keep that between you and I. Anyways, you have Jeff Gorvette here in the back instead of Sally. Again, I like that they keep these card backs updated. I'm going to review Sally here soon. She'll definitely be the last after Jeff and Morgan, but can't say I'm overly excited to get to her. Just I feel like she could have been replaced by pretty much anything. Like the bar is set pretty low. Like I would love just like a non-Race and Rescue new release. Like give us the Cars 3 Thunder Hollow announcer, maybe? Or give us a different Cars on or Rally Race release. Like give us, I don't know, Chase Race, whatever. Like that probably would have been better. Let's be honest. A Rally Race Chase Racelet, a Rally Race Francesco Bernoulli, a Rally Race Bobby Swift, probably better than this, at least in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Am I being too hard on old Sally? Now, this is where we can actually pivot and give Mattel some credit for correcting one of their worst mistakes in franchise history. If you guys remember when Masha Ellswrench came out in Case U as a single, and then she was released in a 2-pack in Case C of 2-packs, her artwork was the same rendering as Mandy Frudenbender, the Taco Minkrucci from last year, and JW, another pickup truck. But we all know Masha is not a pickup truck. She is just a sedan, a 2-door sedan. Cool, right? And yet the artwork didn't even come close to matching. It was pretty abysmal. The photoshopping of the fiber fuel decals was also pretty bad. Here they go. They corrected it. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with Mattel. I have to give them credit. It's a good turnaround. This does tell me, though, now that, like, hey, Mattel knew, like, all right, this is ugly, but we have to do it like this because we don't have Pixar's official rendering of Masha yet. And that is what we have here. This is something that Pixar, I'm pretty sure, did themselves, Disney and Pixar, and sent it to Mattel. Mattel didn't have it in time before they needed to go into production with Masha. Now, I feel like some better coordination on their part could have been achieved. Like, hey, maybe we just push this to next year's calendar release. Or maybe we don't release her as early as Case U. We release her first in this case. Like, there could have been some workarounds. The 2-pack situation kind of muddles the water. But either way, at the end of the day, they corrected the artwork. It looks great. It's perfectly accurate now. It makes me very happy to see. And yeah, I'll definitely be loading up on some of these, purging some of the other ones that I have. Unfortunately, there's a crease in the card that makes me sad because I already have her open, so no need to open this one. I wonder if this card back is different from the original Masha card back because, yeah, this feels like some old Cars 1 stuff, but I think that's probably right. This is probably the same card back as the Case U Masha, but someone please let me know on that. But this is great. So happy. Honestly, might be the highlight of the case. Nope, we're saving you for last. Going to jump here to Fillmore. It looks great. Another, like, similar to the King, sells well. Getting a good bang for your buck. There's a lot of die-cast metal. He's probably the heaviest car that they release these days. Yeah, even Mater with the sign doesn't beat him. But yeah, I mean, he's got to be like the heaviest car that they do in the singles these days. He's great. Big aficionado of Fillmore. Kind of a random inclusion, but here we have Mater with sign, who was released first last year from Thailand and now was re-included for this year's main line, starting with Case Q, and now has worked his way all the way down to Case Y. I think he was in another case intermittently as well. Would love if they gave him his own artwork, but the regular Mater artwork is fine. Yeah, I love the expression on this guy. I've always said that. I mean, expression looking off to the side gives the character so much more life, and so I've always appreciated that with Mater with sign here. The Thailand variant is pretty good. And here you have some other Cars 1 releases that we've already talked about and looked at throughout the video. And that leaves not one, but yes, just one. Morgan Martin's last, definitely not least, probably the best, maybe, we'll see, from the case. I'm just going through all the emotions right now with Morgan. It feels so good to hold something so big in the singles line, even though he's been downscaled. Like, this is pretty cool. It does kind of almost feel like a deluxe in some way. Like, people are going to see this on the pegs and they're going to have a hard time not buying it because they're like, wow, that's got to be something pretty special. They're giving us a pretty large car in the single line. Like, this is pretty cool. I mean, he is minuscule compared to, yeah, I mean, he's a tiny boy now. Baby Morgan. It's tough. It's a little tough to see this, but I understand. And I don't know, guys. If I was in charge of Mattel, I probably would avoid releasing characters like this because it just calls out their own problems. It's like, well, hey guys, this goes to show like we're not doing deluxes anymore, and in order to give you these characters, we gotta reduce their size by 25 to 30 to 40%, and thus making them way less accurate to the movie. Like, it just calls out what you don't want to be called out. So I probably would just keep releasing Red in the 2-packs, same size as he always been, as a deluxe. Try and find some other characters that you can release like kind of as a deluxe in a 2-pack, like maybe Craig Faster or Alexis Wilson. Those two are smaller deluxes. They were actually released in the same case when they debuted back in 2016 as well. Fun fact. Mater with cone teeth could definitely fit into a 2-pack as well. That's also a funny story. He was canceled in 2016. All right. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. I love the artwork that we see here from Morgan as well. Something that we have never seen before, considering in 2017 they didn't use these renders. They just had the big old slanted Cars 3 logo. But yeah, I will be reviewing him soon here. I honestly don't know if I'll do him or Jeff first. I'm kind of getting an itch to do him. I want to do the size comparison badly. And yeah, on the back, they reflected the card back to show you Sally instead of Morgan. Perfect. I love it. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, who is your favorite from this case? I know it might be hard to tell until I open them all up, but I think this is a really strong case. You have the corrected Masha, which is a big deal, at least to me. You have Cars 1 Lightning McQueen. You have Morgan Martin's Sally, who sucks. Sorry. And you have Jeff Gorvette, who everyone loves Jeff Gorvette. You can't go wrong with him. My favorite will either be Jeff or Morgan. We'll see in the coming days. Going to be a little bit of a tight competition. I will say, I'm glad Mattel included 2 Sallys, although she is the worst of the bunch, in my opinion. She is new still at the end of the day, so including 2 of her, pretty good call. I think 2 of Jeff Gorvette would have been better. I understand you can't do 2 Morgans, he's too big, but yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys soon for another video. By the way, this video is late because I didn't receive this box until like literally the time I would be uploading a video on a normal day. So I just wanted to wait. I wanted to get a jump start. I didn't want to wait all the way until the weekend to do this video. All right. Bye now. Spending all my time with you.